from Aloysius Albert from India. It has two parts. The first part is comment, the second part is the question. I love your meditational mastermind. This is a comment and observation. The question comes, I would like to clarify with you my doubts. Can we say that a person is in the ishness or one with God after death because no thought, no feeling? Or can this ishness be attained only in this earthly life? This question is an important one, intelligent as well. The intelligent observation after listening to any one of the talks, which I am not sure which one we heard, the message remains same. He has used the word ishness, which I have mentioned many a times. There are certain words, they come in the same domain: ishness, Buddhahood, enlightenment, harmony, oneness, Christhood. All these words come in the same domain. They point towards the same one thing, that there is inner harmony, there is oneness, there is togetherness. Let me start from where you are. Let me go with this assumption that you are an organic being as you're supposed to be, but then such is not the case. You are hearing someone, but you are watching someone else. This is the organ of perception. The information comes. You are listening to someone, but same time something else pleasing to the eyes happen to be. So you are looking at that person. This is not a sign of harmony. This is not the sign of oneness. Then you are responding to the person, but you are looking at someone else. Or if you happen to hold on to somebody's hand, then again it is different. You are talking to someone else but feeling someone else. This is not harmony. Harmony means all the different parts of your being, the organs of action, the organs of perception, they act in harmony with one another. And the information that they bring is harmonious. The eyes are seeing the same person whom they are hearing, and so on and so forth. This is what is meant by oneness or harmony within. So when you start from this, you go a little deeper. The different parts of your being, your hands, your eyes, your ears, your nose, they are getting nourishment from one source, which is your being or soul or your spirit, because the blood that flows into the various parts of your being comes from the same source. It's not that the blood flowing into your hands and your eyes comes from a different source. We have to go through this experience. When you go through this experience, you realize that all the parts of your body, the fingers, the hands, the eyes, the ears, the nose, the head, they are getting the nourishment from the same source. The physical nourishment, the life force, it is coming from the same one source. then how can there be disharmony in the functioning of these organs of your body? And then there is a mechanism, there is a particular function, particular part of the body that brings these in harmony, which you can call your understanding, which you can call the part, the organ that functions for that is your brain. This we understand, that all the parts of my body are part of one organic being. They have to act in harmony with one another. This is a different situation if they do not work in harmony, but the effort is that they should work in harmony with one another. You cannot be angry with your one hand, or one hand cannot be angry with the other hand. You may say how the hand can be angry. You can act, one part of your brain can act for the right hand and the other one can act for the left hand. And there can be an inner battle. The left hand wants something, the right hand says, no, I will not give. Just as we are a part of one family. The one brother wants something, the other says, no, I will not give you. The same thing can happen. Hypothetically, the left hand refuses to help the right hand, but it seldom happens. Through this process, through the understanding, we can reach to inner harmony. Then it comes the family members. Now, one thing is very important to understand at this point, where I have given again and again the example of the house, the land and the structure of it. These different parts of your body, they occupy a space, they have a range of operation. Within that, the eyes have a function, they have a range, they have a field of operation. The eyes do not interfere with the field of operation of the ears, but there remains an interconnection. The eyes do not say that I want to hear. You have not heard anybody saying that I am hearing through my eyes, because eyes are made for a specific function. They have a range, they have a field of operation, that it brings the objects, the image of the objects to your brain, where it is processed before a decision is made, before some kind of conclusion is arrived at. Ears do not interfere with the field of operation of the other organs. In our life, although the different individuals have a different field of operation, but each one likes to interfere in the field of operation of the other, instead of focusing on his or her own field of operation. Now, I had given again and again the example of the house that was an empty piece of land, one piece. Then the desire comes that you want to establish a structure so that where you can stay, where all the people can stay together. So, making a structure according to the plan and resources. Different rooms for different functions are made. The kitchen activities cannot take place in the bedroom, because kitchen requires a different setup, different facilities, different set of arrangements. The washroom area is specific for a specific function. The bathroom does not, it remains within its jurisdiction. Whatever work it is assigned to or whatever work it is made for, it functions within that framework. The kitchen area, the living room area, sometimes it may happen, things may go otherwise. Bedroom is not meant for kitchen area, so you do not do any cooking in the bedroom area. Temporary arrangements are out of this question because that forms the assumption. So too, but there is a harmony. This is one organic house, one unit. One unit means that this whole unit is one. Now, if in your area there had been only one house, this is meaningless. Then there are similar houses in one area, they are all in harmony. First you have to establish the harmony within you. Within you have to start the journey on the gross level where you are. That consciously you are establishing the harmony, just as there is harmony between all the room spaces that is there in the house. There is harmony between all the organs of action and organs of perception within your body. So too, there is one cosmic being, and there has to be harmony with that. Many a times it happens, although your bedroom does not remain in conflict with the kitchen area, your hand is not in conflict with the feet, but you are in conflict with another member of your house. This has two aspects. This is the quality of the human being to be in conflict. He has two choices: to be in conflict with next member of the same unit or be in harmony. The choice is his. It's not like the choice is imposed upon, because the various spaces inside the house have no choice. The only choice is given to them that they have to remain within the harmony. The mind is not developed. Man in a state of evolution, and because of that state of evolution, he have a choice to be in harmony or not to be in harmony, to be happy and not to be happy. If you aspire for the spiritual life, then you have to choose that leads you towards that. The unhappiness, the disharmony leads you in a state of conflict and away from that harmony. And not only from that, then the whole process that we are looking for ishness will not happen. So the choice is that every individual have a choice to choose this or not to choose this, to be happy or not to be happy, to be in harmony or not to be in harmony. In the beginning, this is an effort. Then slowly and slowly it happens that it becomes a spontaneous and natural process. Then with everyone, every circumstance and situation becomes an impetus for you to take you to that inner harmony. You have to attain to this state of harmony when you are waking. If you are sleeping, then you cannot attain. If you are dreaming, you cannot attain. This has to be done while you are waking and your organs of actions and perceptions are in operation, because it is through those through the organs of actions and perceptions and the mind, you can reach to that level of harmony which is the ultimate goal of life. But whatever harmony comes to you through your waking state, the effects of it will remain in your sleep state. If you have spent your time in a state of disharmony, conflict and despair, your sleep will have its effect and the sleep will be disturbed. If on a particular day you have spent all the organs of action and perception and the mind has worked towards the harmony in every circumstance and situation, according to the divine will and understanding of the cosmic phenomena, then what happens? Your sleep will be transformed. You will rest, you will be totally relaxed. The effects will be carried on to that state which is the next. After the waking state, you enter in the state of sleep or rest. So this question that can this be attained? This is a state of no thought. The question I will repeat, can we say that the person is in ishness or one with God after death because no thought, no feeling? Or this ishness be attained only in this earthly life? Just as the effort to establish harmony, oneness, cooperation, you have to make efforts in your waking state, but this effort, its effect will be carried on in the different stages. This is the beginning. And in that state, when you say that there is no feeling, there is no thought, most of the time the thoughts, the feelings is because of disharmony. When there is intense state of lovingness, which is oneness, does there remain any thought or feeling? A state comes when you are drowning in that state, you are in a way intoxicated because you are totally relaxed. There is no disharmony, there is no fear, there is nothing of that nature. There is no unwanted thoughts. The thoughts comes because of the functioning of ego and fear. When the harmony is coming in, then there is no fear. If you are in the house and you know all the members of the house are in conflict with one another, as you enter the house or you are planning on entering the house, many thoughts will be arising in your mind. Many thoughts of a different nature. I do not know which way I will be welcomed, whether I will be allowed the entry in the house, and so on and so forth. But if there is harmony between all the members, the occupants of the house, then these thoughts will not be there. The thoughts will be replaced by a state of joy. Joy of returning home, joy of togetherness, that maybe in between a thought may come, that everyone may plan on doing something. It is the occasion of celebration. I will do this, someone else does. So this whole state of being is totally different. This we can say, this is how it has to begin. Then a state comes that you are so overwhelmed by it that even feelings disappear. Even you know that there you have a work to do, you perform it with oneness, because the oneness has been established within you. There is no thought. It is only in that state that one is connected to the being. In order to connect to your being, if you are still in your state of thoughts, then how can you be meditative? Meditation is a state beyond thoughts. And this does not mean the thought will not be there. When a thought comes in, after that there is a gap. The thoughts arise in the human mind like the cars passing on the highway. When they stand up by the roadside, lean on the wall and start observing the traffic on the street. Zoom, a car passes, speeding. Then there is no car. After that a car goes stumbling. Takes a little while before it clears the screen in front of you. Then there is a gap again. All of a sudden you see two cars zooming, trying to overtake one another. This is the nature of the thoughts arising on the inner sky. But between the thoughts is that space when there is no car. One car passes, is not like cars are passing continuously one after the other. Then they are not moving, they are in a traffic jam, the cars are not moving. There is a whole set of cars standing, moving bumper to bumper, there is no movement. But when there is a movement, a car passes and after that the road is empty for a fraction of a second, maybe for a longer period of time, depending on the period of day. So too, sometimes the thoughts move at a tremendous speed, other times thoughts move at a snail's pace, but between two thoughts there is a space, there is a gap. Ishness does not mean the thoughts will cease. Ishness does not mean the feeling will cease. Ishness means that you are becoming aware of the gaps between the two thoughts, gaps between two streams of feeling that come to your mind. Being aware of the spaces, the gaps between two thoughts, between two streams of feelings is a state of meditation, is the journey towards ishness, is the journey towards harmony. Now, in most of the cases your attention is focused on thoughts, on the cars. You never notice even there is a gap between the two cars passing on the street, between the two feelings, between the two thoughts. Then the gestalt has to change. For inward journey to begin, your gestalt has to change from thoughts to the gaps between. Then one day you will fall in the state of no mind, no thought. To remain in the state of thoughts is being not meditative. Just give me a minute. So in that state, when you are moving towards the thoughts, you are moving away from your being. Ishness means that your attention is moving from thoughts to the gap between the two thoughts, from the stream of feelings to the gap between the two streams of feeling. Observing. Feelings does not come in a continuous chain. One feeling comes, then there is a gap, no feelings, then again one comes in, a thought comes in, and the screen is empty, then another thought comes in. Where do you have to attain to this? When you are sleeping? No. You have to attain to this state when you are waking. Waking means you are operating in the world of objects and beings, which is world. You have to attain to this state through your efforts in a state of worldly affairs, interaction in the world of objects and beings. If you do not practice it, using this experiment, standing by the roadside, leaning onto your wall, observe the cars passing on the street, one car, a gap, and another car. In the beginning, your attention is on the cars, the stampede, then your attention begins to change from the cars or the thoughts to the gap between the thoughts. Your journey has begun. Where will you and when will you practice this? When you are sleeping or when you are waking? Waking means you are interacting in the world of objects and beings. All oneness, ishness, Christhood, Nirvana has to experience within the waking state when you are operating in the field of objects and beings. And when it has started overflowing, it will overflow into the other states. When there is a conflict, there is a disturbance, there is disharmony in you during the day. Although that situation has finished, the situation that has caused disharmony, excitement, or whatever the states that we can bring in that domain, those situations had vanished, but its effect is lingering even in your sleep. You cannot go to sleep. The effect that began in the waking state is continuing its effect during the deep sleep, during the sleep state. Even your dreams will be guided by those experiences. But if there is harmony and you have attained to that state while interacting in the world of objects and beings, using your intelligence, using your understanding, then its effect will be a relaxed sleep, a relaxed state of awareness, a dreamless state of consciousness, and ultimately the bliss state. To say that this oneness is no thought, no feeling, is to attain after death? Yes, you can say. Death means you are moving from one zone to another. A state where everything is alive in its form to a state when the aliveness is no more. This does not mean something is lost. The negative effects are lost. Let us not go into the subtlety of that aspect. At this level of understanding, this has to be attained in life. In your waking state, its effect will be carried on in the next stage, and death is the deep sleep state for the spirit or room. Just as for certain period of time, you have completely withdrawn yourself from the field of activity when you enter into a state of sleep for 6 hours or 8 hours, This is the death for all those organs that operate in the field when you are in a waking state. Death means it is a cessation of certain activities, but even in a state of sleep, there is a state of blissfulness remains as an outcome of your understanding while operating in the field of interacting in the field of objects and beings through organs of actions and perceptions. First of all, this state of no thought does not, or the state when there is no thought is not to be understood literally. As long as there is inner sky, the thoughts will continue to float. As long as there is life, the thoughts will continue to flow. The only thing is this: your gestalt has to change, moving your focus, your attention from the state of, from thoughts or the crowd to the state when there is no thought, or the gaps between the two. When your attention, your gestalt is falling into the state of gaps between two thoughts, it can be said that is a state of no thought. But actually it is a gestalt, it is a temporary cessation of thoughts, temporary cessation of the cars passing on the street. For a few seconds, if you measure that time through the stopwatch, this is what you would have seen sometimes when the people on the street, they stand up on one side, they are observing the traffic movement during a certain period of time. They do the research how the traffic moves. If you start observing the traffic of your thoughts arising in the mind, and you start falling in the gaps, becoming aware of the gaps, you are moving towards inner harmony. Then it will happen that at the end of the day, there is harmony has been attained, and the sum total of all these will one day explode into the state of ishness or harmony within, or a state of Buddhahood or enlightenment. Then you are in total harmony. You are in a state of ishness, whether you are waking, whether you are dreaming, whether you are cooking, whether you are eating, whether you are sleeping, whether you are making love, or whatever it is. Because certain things are necessary for the function of the body. For the function of the body, the food is to be provided, although the food that you eat is not the one that nourishes the soul. That's why we transform our cooking, that the food that you cook, the food that you eat, it transforms, it nourishes even your being. It is the bliss, it is the happiness that can be transferred through your cooking, will nourish your being. How the food is cooked, how it is accepted, how it is received, how it reaches your being, that state will nourish your being. So the ishness, that question from Aloysius Albert, can you say that a person is in the ishness or one with God after death because no thought, no feeling? No. This ishness be attained only in the earthly life. Yes, indeed, it has to be attained while you are interacting in the field of objects and beings. That is your field of operation. How can you practice harmony when you are sitting in a cave like a Robinson Crusoe? Then when you have practiced it, you have attained to this ishness while operating, interacting in the field of objects and beings, then its effect will be carried on to the other state when you are in a state of sleep or dream. And sleep is the state, death is the sleep for the being. Death is the sleep for the being. It remains in one state of bliss or a state of no bliss. It all depends upon how you have interacted in your waking state while interacting with objects and beings. Only this much for now. Anything else? Okay, I am not sure if it is recorded on mine. Let me just see that there. If it is. Okay.